One way, thank you. And if I need it, I'll get it. But then you got these fucking people out here. I know people who smoke weed all day, don't want to get a fucking job, and just want to do the bare minimum shit. I know a girl, and she's an awesome girl, but she did this. First, her excuse was, I want to raise my son till he goes to school and I'll get a job. So she took welfare and sold bags of weed to make a little bit of money here and there. Then her son was in school. Oh, you gonna get a job? Oh no, I'm gonna, and just still on fucking welfare, and is more than capable of having a fucking job. Her son is 12 now, and this bitch is still on welfare selling bags of weed to cover the difference. It eats me up because I bust my nuts at work. Like, I go and work hard. In real life, I'm a refrigeration mechanic. I went to fucking school for this, and I owe money for this shit, and I work my ass off. So this bitch can sit at home and sell bags of weed. That bothers me. That bothers me.
Obviously, but that's not, those are people who are using it incorrectly.
Right.
It depends on the situation at the time and who's using it. Now, basically, what it's designed for is for people who can't, find jobs. Put in job searches. People who can't, they can't find work. Also, it's for people who can't actually have the time to do it and still live off it and afford it. Now, basically, if you're doing that and sitting on your ass and doing nothing, right? But this is what
do I think
how
there's
to be
more
used
people?
the properly way.
The question is, do you think there's more people who actually need it
No.
and are getting it than there are people who are just abusing the system?
Well, of course. It's hard not to, differentiate when there's, certain situations. Some people will try to milk it, But at the same time, you just have to judge every case accordingly.
Agreed. Are you ready?
It's been on.
We can talk. Oh, good. See, that's how we do it. So when he edits this, we'll edit all this shit out, right? I didn't know he was recording. Anyway, today we have a very special guest on With Me or Against Me Studios podcast. One of our very first episodes. This is something we want to start doing. We want to start touching our community, reaching out to people, and not only locally, but he's from Sarnia. He's come a long way today, kind of. Enough distance anyway to come spend some time with us. So this is what we want to do. We want to get our message out there. We want to talk to you. We want to promote whatever you're doing and give you basically your moment in time to shine. So today we have a very special guest. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Dylan Marintot, DL from Sarnia, Chemical Valley.
Sarnia, Chemical Valley. And what is it that you do, DL?
I make music. I'm a rapper.
You're a rapper. How long have you been rapping?
I've been rapping since I've been 13, just, messing with it since, just with friends back in the day. Never was doing anything, actually professionally until the last 3 years.
Okay, and so you've been doing this on a serious note for the last 3 years, and how's that been going? How was your start? Like, where have we gone from 3 years to today?
Well, originally, like I said, I was just, rapping with some friends, Then, my mother's friend referred me because he heard me freestyle and said you should go to Pusher Studio. So
In Windsor. Shout out to Pusher Studio.
Yep. Well, it's Mad Studios.
Shout out to Mad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shadow.
Yeah. We started it. It was a long process over a long time. Just had to work at it. I was in a program for the government that actually paid for your workplace.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and they put you in a placement. I was placed with Shadow as an assistant producer.
Shadow's an incredible producer from what I've been told. I've never had the actual opportunity to work with Shadow. It would have been nice.
Yeah.
But
as a producer, no, he is very helpful. Like, he gives you tips wise. He teaches you how rhythms are, bars, so forth. He makes sure things are proper. Recording wise, he wouldn't settle for anything quality.
As long as I've known him, he's been a very talented individual.
Yeah.
So, DL, what kind of music would you consider? What would you consider your genre of hip hop? Where do you fall at?
Well, I've done a couple different things. I've sung songs, type of mixed it with R&B, just a little bit. I've done more like lyrical raps. One of my greatest influences obviously was L.A., New York. Dr. Dre, M, Fifth, G-Unit, Nas, Mobb Deep.
Who inspired you to start doing this?
Long time ago, like old friend in Sarnia.
Do you remember who got you started? Like, was there a particular rapper or was there one person where you're like, man, this guy
Oh, like first, it was who actually was the first rapper I ever listened to. So,
Eminem?
Yeah.
Oh man, and Eminem's always been. What was the first Eminem album?
Slim Shady.
Slim Shady.
Yeah, LP all the time.
Oh. Classic hip hop right there, yes.
And of course you branch out after that, right?
So you said you're from Sarnia, Chemical Valley. Is there a big hip hop scene in Sarnia?
Is
it growing?
It's definitely getting a lot better. It's not anything huge, but it's a lot bigger out in Windsor. That's why a lot of them, try to come out here.
Well, see, you're the first. I was about to say been rapping. I'm done rapping. Rap for a long time though, and I never met an artist out of Sarnia.
Well, there's a few of them. Like they're not, like I said, it's not like they're like famous or nothing, but they're out there doing their thing. Like D.O. Gibson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a long time. He used to go around to the high schools and actually do seminars about rapping and staying off the streets and stuff.
Really?
Yes.
Is he still in the game too?
Yes, he is.
What's his name?
D.O. Gibson.
Shout out to him. I haven't met you, man, but your man's over here.
He's a good guy. He does a lot of things good like that.
Yeah. Hopefully we get him up one day. That sounds like somebody
we'd
be interested in talking to. So it's growing scene. It's a growing scene out there. What is Chemical Valley?
It's the whole like there's about a lot of chemical. There's a whole stretch called the 40. It's Highway 40,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
And all along it, there's like 10 different chemical plants. Like that's why it's called Chemical Valley. And there's like other side towns and communities right around the city of Sarnia, and it all stretches around it. So we're known for that.
That's dope.
No,
Chemical Valley.
No, it's
the
not.
name is dope.
The name, but at the same time, like I said, it's not a good thing. It's not a good place to grow up. But at the same time, it's not like how I put it. It's not a huge city. It's just it's flooded from the chemical workers, the pollution. It's you look outside, we don't have many blue skies. It's mostly gray.
So is the chemical factories the main employment in Sarnia, basically?
Yeah.
So everybody just works at one of those factories?
No, it's just the biggest one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is it with the do you know the population on Sarnia, by any chance?
A little less than 100,000, 78,000. And then it's surrounded by like 4 or 5 different native reserves. And then small little communities, like it's all like cliques, like almost like Windsor and Tecumseh.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's alright, man. And then you be pumping your music out there?
Like I said, I didn't start recording, so I can't in Windsor.
I know, but
I go
yeah,
out
you
there.
get it out there.
There's a promoter out there. There's a couple promoters out there that run shows, like Joe Dickinson from Crew.
Shout out to Joe Dickinson.
He's a promoter. He helps rappers get shows and gigs all across. I did shows up in Toronto, just gigs, just to get out there. Not all local stuff.
Have you had the opportunity to open for a major act yet?
A few, yeah. I did. My first one was Snack the Ripper.
Okay. Is he a Toronto rapper?
No, Vancouver.
Vancouver, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. He's part of Stomp Down Killers, actually.
Okay.
He had Mercury's come through, too.
Heard of him.
Yeah. Also, I did Locksmith, Kung Fu Vampire. Kung Fu Vampire was with Locksmith on the tour at the time.
Okay.
Actually in my home city, Sarnia.
Dope. And you're currently doing something?
Yeah, this weekend, actually, June 10th, I'm doing Mad Child, opening up with a couple local acts.
And for y'all who don't know, Mad Child was a part of the Swollen Members group out of Vancouver.
All as well,
a major hip-hop group in the early 2000s, late 90s. I believe they went Canadian Platinum on one of their records.
Yes, they did.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, it's either gold or platinum. Yeah.
No, they did. I think they did a platinum run in Canada anyway, because in Canada, I believe it's only 500,000 to go platinum, 50,000 to go gold because of the population size difference.
No, 100,000.
100,000 to go gold?
Platinum, 50,000 to go gold.
I have no idea.
Damn.
It's 10%.
I should have went platinum in these streets. Brucie. But back to what we're saying here. So you got this coming up on, you said June 10th?
Yep.
And how can people, like I see, if you don't see it, the CD's up here, right? This is one of your works. How can people get this? Like, what is a way for people to follow you? So, like, plug your social media.
You can find me at Borderline on YouTube channel. You can also follow me at Official Deal Music on all my media fronts.
And where can they find this music at? Where can they buy this?
You can't buy it.
Can they download it?
They can download it. Well, at the moment, you can download it off YouTube, off the computer. It's about it. You can listen to it. But at the moment, we're still working on getting it out. But it's on all my medias.
And you have a group as well? Is there other people you fuck with? Like, do you have a clique?
Yeah, like people in my group, we're part of Borderline.
Borderline, okay.
Yeah, so it's just a media group. We all just rap together. We're all separate artists.
You want to plug any of them?
Yeah. I got a friend named Brucie Back. He was in my video, and also a rapper called Fatboy Choppy, and he's from here in Leamington. Richie Manic was originally from Germany and came down here in Canada. Now he's a resident in Canada for a while. So.
Does he speak German?
Yeah, Russian or German. He speaks fluent because they're fluid there, right? So.
Can he rap in it?
Yeah.
I want to meet that guy.
It's good, man. He's in my freestyle video again on the Borderline channel.
Bang. Borderline's the group. Borderline's the clique. So they can download. What's the name of your music video?
It's just a freestyle video for Nate Dogg for him passing away.
R.I.P. Nate Dogg, man. One of the greatest gangster rap R&B singers ever. And what people don't know, you probably know because you seem to be up on your hip hop. You know what I'm saying? How old are you, by the way?
25.
You're younger, a lot younger than me, anyway. So your generation, you knowing, like we were talking outside, and you were, talking about Nas and different people, and I was impressed because a lot of these younger generations don't fuck with that. They're on some other shit. But Nate Dogg, I'm sure you knew this. Back to what I was originally saying. What people didn't know is Nate Dogg was a part of the Dog Pound Gang. So he was a DPG,
Yes.
He was a Crip. And everybody thought that Snoop Dogg and fucking Daz and Corrupt were the hardest niggas in the group, right? And be scared of them. And I'm not taking nothing from them. But if you ever listen to any of the real stories, the hardest motherfucker was Nate Dogg, the R&B singer. He was really the one pulling straps and whooping people's asses behind the scenes. So, and making hits.
I saw that video.
Shout out to Nate. You see when he hit that nigga with the golf club on the golf course? On the golf course?
Running and shit?
Damn.
Yeah, I see that.
Shout out Nate Dogg. Shout out to you, Nate. And I was just saying, like, you've been a little younger and up on this hip hop. I want to discuss some of this hip hop. So, like,
well, basically, like I said, it starts with, like, I started with them. A lot of people around my generation usually do, especially in Canada. A lot of people relate to Eminem. It's still current to today, right? So.
Eminem's dope.
Yeah. But originally, back in the day, when we were younger, he was still with Dre and 50. So, of course, you lead into them, the unit, right? Young Buck, Lloyd Banks, and all them. And you get, with Dre, you start listening to old Tupac, Biggie, then that brings you to, East Side. And after that, I got hooked on Nas and Mobb Deep. They were my favorites out of the two.
Dope. Nas was dope, and rest in peace, Prodigy. Mobb Deep was fucking incredible. Do you remember the what was that infamous Murder Music CD? They had a song on there. With
I remember the infamous CD, and then I remember like there's stuff like Temperature and Cradle to the Grave, stuff like that. Of course they Shook One's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big one in my life.
They got a song with.
But also with Nas too, like It Was Written, I Am, fucking Illmatic, of course, is one of the biggest hip hop albums out of there forever. Halftime, Representing, of course, One Love, the rip from Bob Marley. Like I still listen to those to this day.
The one song that the infamous Mobb Deep did, which if you never heard it, you should check it out. Was with what's that nigga? That one rap dude. He's a legend in the game. He had fucking a kid with Superhead there. Oh my God, he's a legend. Everybody looks up to this guy. He's from Queensbridge too.
Not care.
Oh, there was the other ones in the infamous too, like Big Boy and stuff like that. I don't know the other ones.
Anyway, this song is
another
dope.
one coming out of there too.
Marty Ball?
Dave East actually right now.
David East is dope.
Yeah.
And then Nas did a record too that I'll never forget. Was the song where he did it backwards. Remember he rapped the story back? That
was Stillmatic.
I've never heard nothing like that.
The whole story backwards.
I've never heard nothing like that in my life. I remember the first time I listened to that shit, I got goosebumps. I was like, oh my, like 10 times I had to bring that shit back. That shit was fucking dope.
There's one song close to that. There's a Jordan Lucas song, the one he put
Jordan
in.
Lucas is dope. $100 bill.
I can't remember what song it was, but he's talking about that kid.
He came out unexpected, Jordan Lucas too.
Jordan Lucas is dope. What do you think about Tekashi 6ix9ine?
A lot of crazy stuff going on right now with him. Like personally, I don't like a lot of his music, but I don't know him personally. But the things going on, I like the game. I listen to him a lot, and also Chief Keef, right? So
you like Chief?
Yeah, I do like Chief.
So he just got popped at.
I know. That's what I mean. It's crazy. I think everybody's thinking like, is this even really like Tekashi, or is this like, it's not expected. It's not what you expect, especially with the whole thing with the game and him telling the game off too.
See, the thing was,
but that's negativity, right?
Negativity. He's making money on the negativity.
Exactly. They use that as a tool. So.
And I can't. You know what? I know. Listen, I can't really. I'm not like I don't know Tekashi personally, but I'll say this. I'll say this much. People be talking shit because they're like, if he got caught by himself, You know, he get his ass beaten. Da 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 da. Now, I'm not saying that's not true or true. What I will say is, everybody's, oh, he's paying people. That's what a boss fucking does. Is hire a gang of motherfuckers to do what they need them to be cat's paws. Obviously, he can't be running around shooting at people and shit. He's the one making the money. He puts them on the payroll to do the shit. So if he's got all the shooters,
it's like everybody at the same time. Look at the world looking at him. The whole world's gonna say, which is a stereotype. Look at the way this motherfucker looks.
Right.
And that's ridiculous for him to be doing it.
I think that's what makes it the most ridiculous. That the most gangsterous motherfucker in the game right now is rainbow hair and has pedophile charges.
Like Omar from The Wire.
That's not what you expected, but again, this is 2018.
And this is the guy that's really fucking shooting at Sosa. Like, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
You know, that is insane to me. And if you...
2018, man. Like,
if anybody don't know, look up Chief Keef. I've seen a video of Chief Keef, you know, crying and shit when he got arrested when he was a little younger. That's funny. I laughed. But if you ever really go online and Google and look up his rap sheet, Chief Keef has been charged with some real gangster shit. Like, he's been in shootouts. He was like 15 years old. Yeah. He was like 15 years old in shootouts.
And I know everybody on Facebook has seen the meme with Tekashi as a 16-year-old and Chief Keef as a 16-year-old. It makes them look ridiculous in comparison.
Shot motherfucking police officers
it's not what you expect.
In a shootout when he was 15.
Yeah.
In his house, like a full-on fucking.
That's why everybody's like, "Is this real? Is this like what?" Like, it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, man. But all I know is Tekashi's team, like Treyway, that one nigga seen in the background, they must be serious hitters. Because New York, to be the king, like to be popping in New York is very tough. Because that's a big fucking place, man. You can make it in New York. You can make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And these niggas are running New York right now. And even so, I know
crazy's not what you expected from Big's time.
And I know
things
when you were saying
crazy, and that's the whole aspect of it. It's unbelievable to sit back and look at it for evolution of hip hop.
And you said you like the Game, and we know the Game fucks with Whack 100, who's supposed to be a real Pyru, and Game's supposed to be like, you know, we've seen him beat up 40 Glock on camera or jump whatever he did to him. Yeah. And I believe some of the shit that comes out of Game's mouth. I don't think he'd be scared.
No, but at the same time too,
he's huge.
Yeah, but it comes from where they live.
But I mean, even
in the States and in LA again, and NY, those are one of the two hardest places.
You make it, you can make it anywhere. But them going hard and nothing happened. Nothing has happened to Tekashi 6ix9ine. Nothing. This motherfucker has talked shit to J Prince, which was unreal. I thought nobody would ever fuck with J Prince or rap a lot. To J Prince Jr., he talked all that shit in Houston. He showed up. He talked all that shit about LA to Game and them and showed up. He came back to New York and talked shit about Casanova, who's supposed to be a real gangster. Now these motherfuckers are cool again. Talked all that shit and still be talking shit to Triple Red on fucking FaceTime. You know what I mean? He don't give a fuck. And everyone else in the motherfucking world, you tell him to suck his dick, and this guy is still the #1 viewed dude right now. No one's touched him. No hands have been put on his ass. Nothing's really happened to him.
That's what I mean. So that's what gets all the interest.
But whoever gets the first fucking dib on that guy is gonna be world famous.
Yeah.
Whoever does get his ass robbed or do whatever they do to him, that is gonna be the biggest clout snatch in history. And it will happen. Because it can happen to you. And it's happening to you. What do you think about this Drake Pusha T situation? Do you think Drake has been bodied like he bodied Meek Mills? What do you think?
Not yet.
Not yet? Don't count Aubrey out yet? He's a beast.
Not right now. He's... Whether people have mixed views on Drake or not, because a lot of people are up and down on Drake. Like, I know people that are like, oh, fuck Drake. And then I know people that are like, oh yeah, man, Drake's the bomb. And then you look at both of them and they do the same thing. They diss him and listen to him. I've seen people say they don't like Drake and then straight up listen to him the next day. So, what the fuck's that? It's just, he's on the top right now. Whether no one likes to admit it, he is the biggest legend of our time date until another one in hip-hop comes. Now, there's also all the side stars, right? But as of now, he's hit the charts all the time.
I think that Drake is potentially a Michael Jackson of our time. That motherfucker's incredible. He makes incredible
I wouldn't go that far, but he's definitely made all of our time.
Have you looked at how many numbers? He's tied to Beatles. The Beatles.
Which is crazy, that's what I mean. Like,
and the Beatles, I'm sure,
like 5 years.
are right next to Mike Jackson. That nigga's on Mike Jackson's ass for #1 hits on the radio.
Well,
fun fact, Mike Jackson owns half of Beatles publishing.
He used to.
Yeah, when he was 19.
He used to.
Yeah.
But,
didn't know that.
Yeah, he bought it. Him and Paul McCartney did a song called Ebony and Ivory, and they were actually friends. And Michael Jackson asked Paul McCartney, What would you do if you could do anything? Paul McCartney said he'd buy his own
I kinda stopped the
catalog.
video.
Michael Jackson went the next day and bought the Beatles catalog for
20 minutes.
$10 million at the time. And fucking Paul McCartney found out and was like, why would you do that?
So the only thing I really know about Michael Jackson is from my parents.
Michael
And,
Jackson
you know,